So in simple short terms, people have been asking me, is AMD's Ryzen Threadripper processor going to even be worth it? And I'm literally sitting there and I'm like completely confused. This video is going to explain pretty much that heck yeah, and forgive me, I would use stronger words, but there's kids that watch this channel.
It's delicious.
Interested in tech? Join the Tech Discord, where you can talk about computer parts such as the AMD Ryzen Thread Ripper processor, and you can talk to other people's and showcase your builds that you just made. Also get certified and help out other people with their builds and help them with their problems. The link for this Discord is in the description. Okay, so a lot of people, know that there's the i9 processors that are coming out, and then there's the Ryzen Threadripper processor. Lots of processors, okay? There's everywhere pretty much. They have lots of processors, and they just want to bombard us with lots of statistics and stuff. But I want to try making sense of it for you guys. So pretty much, let me just simply say this: that looking at a price point standpoint and what you get, the Threadripper, the highest model right now, is probably, I think it's the 1950X, is probably going to be what you want to get. Just saying. So let's take a moment to start talking about a couple things. First of all, I personally right now in my system have an 1800X Ryzen 7 processor, which I haven't overclocked yet, but it can go up to 4 GHz turbo boost, and it works out pretty well. So that's really nice. It's 8 cores, and I think it's 16 or 8 threads, but it works out really well. I use it for recording, editing, etc., and it's really nice. So you would think, I got it for about $500. That's a good price. And what you'd really be expecting is, double the amount of pretty much everything, double the cores, threads, etc. You'd get pretty much the same thing, in about the same price, which you expect, which would be about $1,000. And you're right. Now, if you look at what Intel's doing, Intel's i9 7980XE has obviously, the best thing to compete with is the i9 7960. And that is still $1,700. So just keep in mind, for the same thing, it does have a turbo boost 0.4 gigahertz faster than the Ryzen 7, or not the Ryzen 7, the Ryzen Threadripper, the highest model, 1950X. I have to be specific. Somebody last time hated on me because I wasn't very specific, and I'm like, you guys get the general idea. But when you look at it from the standpoint, if 0.4 gigahertz is worth $700 to you, then just get a nice $700 water cooler. For crying out loud, get a water cooler for like $200 and you could probably boost it up higher. You'd still save money. The thing is, though, when you look at it from the standpoint of, what saves and what is the best deal, it is kind of like Intel really did screw up this one time. And just looking at it, it's like, if I had the money, which I am broke, but if I had the money, I would be getting a Ryzen Threadripper. And I just feel like, you're looking at it, and, all you see is, first of all, not to mention, I haven't even gotten into, like, the PCIe lanes, and, like, the memory, and, like, it just blows my mind that, like, they don't. And the worst part is the RAM. When you look at it from the standpoint, Threadripper can have much higher RAM speeds. The Skylake X i9 processors still freaking are stuck at 2,666 megahertz. And you're looking at it and you're like, Intel is kind of slacking here, and it looks like AMD actually might take a serious win. Which would be kind of nice. Competition is good, especially in the processor market, because that means things get cheaper. And I personally, by looking at what Intel has, the exact same amount of cores and threads, it's just, I don't think $700 is. I would pay $700 for a 0.4 gigahertz increase. I'd just rather get a $200 liquid cooler. I could probably do whole liquid cooling in my whole system if I wanted to, and still end up with a whole bunch more money left over. Like, I understand there's some different, things. Obviously, Threadripper, AMD even announced that they're coming out with even higher processors that have more cores. But just by looking at the exact same amount of cores, I mean, the base, first of all, the difference between the AMD Ryzen is AMD Ryzen has a base clock about 3.4 gigahertz, while the same model, which I'm comparing the 1950X to the i9 7960X. I'm just comparing those models, so if you guys want to look those up or look at those. But you're looking at, the base clock for the Ryzen Threadripper, as I said, 1950X, is 3.4 gigahertz. And then you're looking at the frequency for the i9 7960X, and it's 2.8. Now, obviously, you're thinking, well, base clock is a little different, but it's like, I don't know, it's a good 0.6 gigahertz faster as just regular base clock. And I know it goes up, the turbo boost goes up to 4.4 gigahertz, while the Ryzen Threadripper only goes up to 4.0. But I mean, as I said, you get a liquid cooled, you could overclock it and have no issue. Personally, me, that would be what I would be getting. Obviously, I'm not going to spend a whole bunch more money simply for a little higher turbo frequency speed. But I hope this video helped you out in some way, and please, by all means, go down and do the research for yourself. Then again, if you're still watching this, the models I'm comparing are the 1950X Threadripper, and then the Intel i9 7960X. So please go through and do research. But you'll see that it does look like Intel, the only difference I can really see is Intel just says, because it's their name they're putting on it, I think they're just jacking up the price, because AMD clearly, like, just looking at this, clearly beat them in this situation. Like, I personally, the only way Intel is actually going to make any money from this is simply because the fanboys are going to be like, I totally want Intel, I don't care that AMD is like far better of a good deal. I just want to get an Intel processor. And personally, me, I don't really understand that, because I had an Intel on my old iMac back here when I built this system. I did all the research, and I was like, hey, this looks like a really good deal. This 1700 or 1800X Ryzen 7. I was like, hey, this looks like a really good deal. And now double it. Oh boy, I really don't even need this much processor power as it is. And then they're adding this. I mean, I can't believe this. But I hope this video helped you guys. If you guys like this kind of video or other like this kind of content, then go down, check out my channel. I do a whole bunch of kind of this tech talk stuff. It's called Tech Vault. It's my channel. Surprise if you can't read that. But yeah, I hope this video, because if you're just for me saying to some Intel fanboys, if you're watching this, it is. I understand you have your allegiance to a certain company and all that stuff, but sometimes there is much better, a $700 difference. I mean, I don't know. If it's worth $700 just because you want to help out a certain company, I don't know. That's the only thing I see. But I hope this guys helped you guys. See you guys. As I said, I posted Discord in the description if you want to check that out. Help out some other people out there. And thank you all for watching. See you guys next time.